Hello everyone, this is Alex Design Man. In this video I would like to present you the second review for Samuel's Automotive Design Engineering portfolio. So Samuel already performed some modifications to his portfolio, so this review is going to lead to the third and final version of this portfolio. And this is one rule that I have generally in CVs, portfolio projects, so I like the version number 3. I like to work 2 times to make that version number 3 and to give a few days in between them. And if you want me to do a free review for your CV or your portfolio, you can contact me at my email address or on LinkedIn. The only requirement for this is that you have to agree that I will make a video like this one about it, and of course I can cover all your information, so I can cover everything you want in that portfolio. In our case here, Samuel didn't want me to cover everything because he wants the exposure. So if you have a job or an internship for him, you can contact him at the information on the screen. So let's go forward. So even in the last video this page was okay, it's also okay now. So this is quite an original story. It's short, it has only 2 paragraphs, so I like that. And generally I like to put more paragraphs because it's easier to read. So here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So generally I like maximum 4 rows in a paragraph. So if you want around here, you can choose one of the sentences where you should hit enter to make like another paragraph in between. So that would be easier to read for the eyes. Next, here we have the project 1 single speed transmission. So I remember this, it was kind of the same. So this text here, the above images are the final render. So this is a kind of an explanation telling what those pictures are. So I would move this here above the pictures because it's too much at the bottom of the page, so it can be missed. And I like to apply a lot of marketing to portfolios because this is what it is. Okay, those are some more informations about the single speed transmission project. So again here I would add another paragraph starting from this sentence, so it would be a second paragraph here because it's easier to read. So you want to make this as easier to read as possible for employers or for HR, technical people, because you want them to read as much as possible. The more time they invest in your portfolio, the more they are going to remember you. And again here, this text here, I would move this somewhere above or in between pictures or even on the pictures because there is a lot of white space. So something that I don't like about those pictures is that the vertical to horizontal ratio of some of them has been modified to fit them on the presentation, and that it's never a good thing. And I see that a lot in portfolios and in projects, and I do not understand why design engineers do that. So this shouldn't happen for a design engineer. As a design engineer, you should appreciate vertical and horizontal ratio of a picture of a project and also the scale. So to explain that better, I would take a picture from here, like a screenshot. So if I just paste that picture here in this presentation, so this is exactly what I screenshotted from the portfolio. And to make this picture smaller or bigger, what you have to do is only use the corners. Always, if you want to make it smaller, use the corners, because you see the vertical to horizontal ratio remains unaltered. If you use any of those, like this one or this one, you're going to alter the ratio, so that's going to look very bad. So for example, you see now the picture does not look the same, so this is altered. This does not look professional, so this looks like it's made by an amateur or someone that does not know how to work with computers and stuff like that. So you don't want something like this. And it even can happen something like this sometimes, where the picture gets altered on the horizontal axis. So you do not want something like that to happen. So always use only the diagonals. You see, I can make it smaller and it's not altered. You can see it by the eye, so this is not a measurement that you can make, so this is an eye thing. So this is the original picture. If I do this, we can all see that this is not normal, so this does not look okay anymore. So it's like you make it oval instead of round. So if you have something round, then you make it oval. If you use PowerPoint for this, and even the PowerPoint from Google, you have crop, so you can crop the picture and then you make it smaller. So this is everything you have to do. So never alter the vertical and horizontal axis. So this is okay. Let's go forward. And this one, it's exploded view drawing made by me in SolidWorks. So again, this text can be here above because it's easier to see. This can be skipped very easily. So this is another drawing. So this is very good because I remember those were smaller and there were two of them on a page, so you could barely see what's writing around here and what's going on. But now you can clearly see what's going on here, so you can see parts, you can see those bolts, other parts around here. So now it's way better. You can actually see how this is assembled, and you can read here the materials and the description of the part. And again, this text, I think this one should be above. Exploded view drawing made by me in SolidWorks. And it's better if you write exploded view drawing that I created in SolidWorks. So this is a more professional language than made by me. Okay, next, so this is another drawing. Yeah, so this is the case. So I think this drawing here has too many views. So not all of them are there for this portfolio, I mean. Maybe for manufacturing you need all of those, I don't know. But this one does not have any information, so it's just a view. So what I'm trying to say here is that I would like those to be made bigger, so I can see them bigger. And for that you need to eliminate probably two of those views. So maybe you can eliminate this one and also another one of them, so you can choose that just to make them bigger for this portfolio. So here we have the gear thread design process. So again, here as a first view, even from a technical view, I don't really understand what's going on here. So you can write notes that I created this solid with one single sketch, and this is like the sketch for the second cutout, for the second feature that you want to put the cutout, because I don't see what those lines are. I cannot see what's going on around here. So maybe you can explain what are you doing here. So because also you cannot see the specification tree very well. So this is good that you make screenshots with the software, but if those are too small to read, you want to add extra stuff from PowerPoint. They have those squares with arrows, so you can write a few explanations saying what's going on around here. Use the YouTube link to watch the simulation of the single speed transmission. So again, it's something like this. I would just move this to cover everything here, and I will make this text bigger. But I wouldn't urge someone to use the YouTube link to watch the simulation of the single speed transmission. I would ask them. So I would say, please use the YouTube link below to view the mechanical simulation of the single speed transmission that I made in SolidWorks. And then after that, I see two YouTube links here. So this is not good. You want to put those one under each other because you don't see what's going on here. And also, if this gets printed, I would like to see the whole link, because if maybe the person watching this is going to be I would like to see this, so they're going to start to type down YouTube and all this code here. So you want this to be bigger so they can see it, and you want them to show that there are two links. Next, single speed transmission. So I've seen this before. So those are a lot of information, and I think I forgot last time to say the thing about the paragraphs. So you see how here there is space in between each row, and it's so easy to read, but in here you have this huge paragraph that it's harder to read because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows one after each other without any space. So because you cannot add space in between every row, that will take a lot of space, you can make multiple paragraphs that have maximum 3-4 rows. In this case, I think that here where the application starts, you can hit enter, so you can put this up in a new paragraph. And also where you have the line here, you can drag this maybe closer to the side, so there is a lot of space here on the page. So the idea is to add more space if you need to make this text readable, because remember, the more they read, the more they are going to remember you. You might say something interesting here and they are going to remember that. So this is that's why I'm highlighting this so much. And I just noticed here that maybe you should work on your professional language, because see here you say that I went for the 6061 alloy because it's easier to machine. So I assume that you're trying to say that you have chosen this alloy because it's easier to machine. So you want to use professional language to say, not I went for the, because went, it's, from what I know, I mean English it's my second language, but went it means something else, like you're going somewhere, you've been going somewhere. So you want to say that I have chosen, or whatever other verbs there are for this in English, because this is professional language. So in a company, if you say I went for the 606 for this alloy, it sounds weird. Here we have project number 2 with tractor axle, so I remember this. And those pictures, they also seem altered to me, so they seem that you kind of stretch the horizontal axis to make them fit here because they're long. They just look like that. And if you do not have space for both of them, it's okay to add just one. I would add this one because it looks better here, it has this green color. So it's okay to add just one. It's not, you don't need to add both of them, because they are going to see in the next pages other ones. But it's more important to not alter the ratio of the pictures. So again, the text above. So you see this text sounds way better. The above image is a rendered version of the tractor axle that I designed and modeled in CATIA V5 CAD software. So this sounds very well. Next, description, the expression for the design, the tractor axle came for working on a 95 John Deere. Okay, so I've seen this before. You see how well is the text here. It has 1, 2, 3 paragraphs with maximum 3 rows. It's so easy to read. You just want to read it all. So when you see this for the first time, my mind says, okay, I'm going to read it all because it's easy to read. This is what my mind says instantly. And in here, you see this picture seems longer, so the axle seems longer. That's why I was saying that you stretched the other picture. And this one seems stretched. Okay, this one. So you might want to reduce one or two of those. I think it's okay. And this is the exploded view in CATIA V5. So this is also good as a picture, but I can see this is stretched already. I can see the text here in CATIA V5 menus. So you should remake this picture, and if it's too long, just make it smaller, even if you have to do everything you can not to stretch this. And maybe move, because this is a long project, maybe move this, rotate this on diagonal, so I can see it from here going inwards into perspective. And you can also use perspective view, and you can also add text around here with arrows if you want to say something, or you can add 2 or 3 pictures with this exploded view. So maybe this part in one picture and this part in another picture, or maybe you can split the whole screen in 4. So you can try different rotations, so you don't have to stretch the screenshot. Tractor axle major parts. So honestly, I would use more colors on the parts, because when they are black like this, you cannot see how the part looks. So it's better to add colors. I know that you're trying to use rendering, and rendering is done only with the original, only with the material that you choose in CATIA, and all the materials they are going to have those type of colors. It's either gray because it's metal, or black. But I think you don't really need to use rendering, so you can use this kind of view here. With all the lighting, I think this is neon lighting, if I see this well. So it can be all colored here, it doesn't matter. People like to see that. They don't need to see this looking like a real part, because it's not, it's just a CAD design. So you can add colors everywhere. Everybody likes colors. When I used to work in Formula 1, I had the team leader and his boss, like the engineering director. He was always saying, guys, please use a different color for each wire when wires are next to each other, because there were a lot of guys coming from marketing, from other departments or bigger bosses in the company, and they want to see the 3D designs of the Formula 1 car. And many times if you don't use different colors, they would look at the screen and say, I don't understand what's going on there on the screen. But if I have colors, they can see suddenly, even if it's not like in reality. Nobody cares that in reality they're all black and gray. But in CAD they can see, they can ask what's with the red part, what green part, where that green part goes, so they can express themselves very quickly. And it's the same here. You can see all the shadows. Shadows are black, so if the part is black, you're not going to see shadows. But if it's any other color, you're going to see shadows on the part itself. So I think it's better to use colors for all the parts. So I choose my colors very well when I do presentations for the parts. And for some engineers this seems silly, but it's not. Maybe for the engineers that don't work with other departments, or they're not responsible for communication or for something like that. And when I go to work with other departments or other companies or other people that are outside of this field, you're going to start to notice that it's important that you make sure that they see what you're doing and that they understand, and so on. So this is the exploded view. So yeah, this is a lot here. So I can see this is a complicated assembly because it's long like this. So in reality you would make this on a bigger, maybe A0 page. So this is A3 here. But in reality I think you have to make this on an A0 page and make many details showing with zoom in what's going on around here, what's going on around here, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So have this in the middle of the screen and then a lot of details around it. So you cannot put that in a presentation like that, but at least I can take 2 or 3 screenshots from the drawing, and you can write there those are screenshots from a very big drawing. It's an A0 drawing for this whole thing. So you're showing that there is a complicated assembly drawing for this thing. It's not that simple. In reality, if you're going to work in a company, you're never going to make something like this. So this is not enough for an assembly drawing. And another important thing that I wanted to show you here, and this applies to all the drawings that you have and you put them in a portfolio, it's the bill of materials. So if you're going to use the bill of materials from CATIA like this extracts files, the file name and instance name and everything from the files of the project. You're also going to see this in a company. You cannot have differential written like this and then differential with a smaller d and also the word it's wrong, and then you have here AL850 aluminum alloy and then you have AL850 aluminum. They look like they're two different things, and then you have a space here. Here you have axle damper written in 2 different ways. I also see those small lines used in between words and they don't make any sense because CATIA does not have any problem with that, so you do not have to use that. I've seen this many times, so I don't understand why other CATIA users they put those. Also again here you have M7 bolt. I'm pretty sure that an M7 bolt has more requirements and that there are many type of M7 bolts. So from length, what is the length of the bolt, it has to be in the name. So there are a few requirements that they have to be in the name, like M7, length, and maybe pitch or some other details, maybe some details that indicate the type of the head. So all of those, they have to be there, and they have to be, the bill of material has to be pristine. It has to be made like it has been written by a writer. And there might be engineering students that they don't see why is this important, but if you have experience, you probably know this is important, because in companies, usually big companies that everybody wants to work for, you have a CAD manager or a senior engineer that is going to come to you with another drawing and is going to tell you, look, have you seen any other drawing in the library that looks like this, that has a messy bill of materials? because this indicates that all the files are messy. There aren't standards in the name. And of course in companies they might have part numbers, so your part number is going to be a number, it's not going to be a name. Then you're going to have part description probably. So there is a standard that you have to put in the name of each file, and this is done by you at home. Probably you don't have to use part numbers obviously, but at least the name, you want to show that you have that discipline and that you like this to look good, you like this to be perfect, and have things that repeat themselves if they are the same. And in companies there are many reasons for which they use this. Is from standards to avoid confusions, to avoid errors, to have those drawings look professional, because those can be documents, those are documents, so they can be used in a litigation, they can be used for anything, so you want this to be perfect around here. And again, if you put this in your portfolio, a CAD manager or a senior engineer, he's going to see this immediately, he's going to see what is this around here. But if this looks perfect, he's also going to see that, and he's going to notice that you already have that discipline. And this is a part, drive shaft connector. Okay, so this is a drive shaft. I think this is okay. So I don't know if this one has too many views. Maybe it doesn't, maybe they're all needed. But those ones, they seem like they're connected together. So I would move all of them until this one arrives here at the side, and I would put this one here. Because when you move those, it seems to me that like there is going to be more space here or here than here right now. Tractor axle again. So you see all of those this is stretched, and when you have something like this, you would like in CATIA to zoom in more, so this part would cover all the screen, so everybody can see what this is. And use colors and shading with edges like this one. So this is colors and shading with edges, and you can see how good it looks in comparison with this one and this one, because you can see all the edges, all the lines and different colors. You can see the part, but this one it's all black, and this one it looks like a box, but I don't see all the details. And this is a drawing, so I've seen this drawing before, so I would take this view out because this is kind of useless here. And maybe also this one, if it's not that important, and maybe use this space to write some explanations about what's going on here, maybe this text. Project 3, the brake disc. So I remember this is okay, just the text maybe it's better above. Aim, the project was purposed to design a performance brake disc. Okay, this is a drawing. And again, here you might want to write an explanation of what this is and zoom in more, make this cover all the entire screen here. So you want to say this is the section of the brake disc, and you're going to revolve this around an axis or something like that. And this is a drawing. Okay, so I think those 1, 2, 3, 4, you can move them to the right and just move this here in this area. The chassis frame. Okay, so you see this view is better with a lighter color, but also it's shading with edges, so you have all the edges showing. Here you do not have the edges, but those are all the parts. So you might want to add some arrows when you have stuff like this, showing that this goes here, this goes here, here. Those two, they come towards those ones around here, and so on. Just like visually, you know, when you're looking at something, you're like, oh, okay, so those ones, they go together. And the text above. Chassis frame, load, stress analysis. Okay, so here you're showing that you know how to make stress analysis. So this is very good as an explanation. You also would like to explain here how is the analysis done in CATIA V5, because this is just because CATIA is just showing those values and those colors, but you might want to make a few arrows with squares explaining what this means. So I would make one page for each of those, so I can also show a smaller picture to indicate in this chassis which one of the parts is it. So just have like a picture like this one showing an arrow. This part here is the one that we talk about here, something like this, a small somewhere in the corner, so you can see like a map. And then have a screenshot with a zoom in here showing what those values are and how do you interpret those values in CATIA V5, because CATIA V5 does not, because those they need the interpretation. So you're showing them that you really know how to use stress analysis in CATIA V5, and you can also hide those toolbars. So this is the tractor axle. I don't think so. So I think this text has remained by mistake from the tractor axle. So this is probably chassis frame. Text goes here. Drawing was made by me in CATIA V5. So again, I think I talked about this before. So you can write, I created this drawing, or the drawing. I created this drawing in CATIA V5 CAD software. So it's very simple, professional language. And those ones, so you can watch here, you can make a comparison here and see, oh, okay, so this one is this one here, this one is this one here. So this is nice for the eye, and then you can go here and you can read what those are. So this is what you want. A guy that sits at his desk and sees just what's this called. One is this one here, one chassis cross member 1. So it's the cross member 2, 3. Oh, so this is a cross member. Okay, so this is okay. Project 5 McPherson suspension. Okay, so I remember also this one. Aim. This is an exploded view. I would like to see this bigger, so it's better to do this alone on a single page, where you show all the components, names and everything. And those are some parts, but yeah. So you see, if those were colors, it would be way better. So I think it's nice for a portfolio to have colors in it. Okay, so this is the last page. So I think it's better to have like a last page showing a message that thank you for watching my portfolio, and you can write your information from the first page again. So you can write, thank you for taking the time to view my portfolio. I hope you enjoyed it, something like that you can write. And then you just write your names and your phone number and your email address, and that's it. Just so if they want to contact you in that exact moment, they will go from there. So it's like they will immediately take your email address from there. They don't have to look for it. So this is Samuel's portfolio. I think it's a very good portfolio. It's just when you have a good portfolio with complex parts, it becomes harder and harder to make that portfolio, because you need to add informations, so you make people watch it, understand what you're doing and what are those parts, and that's a very good thing. So only simple portfolios with simple projects, they are easy to do. Those portfolios are harder to do, but those are the type of portfolios that they would get you something like a job or success or clients or whatever you need. So I recommend you to work hard on your portfolio and not just do it once like Samuel does. So this is the third time probably he's going to modify his portfolio if he wants that, and I think it's going to be a very good version. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, if you want me to do a free review of your portfolio or CV, I can hide all the information that you want. You just tell me and I will hide them, I will blur them and so on, so you don't have to do anything. You just give me the original, but in the video I will blur everything you want. I have this software that it's very easy for me to do that. Those are my information here to contact me and connect on LinkedIn. So I hope you enjoyed this and see you in the next video.